Good evening and welcome. And thank you very much for joining me on this Monday night. And we're live again. We're on another dynatron, another SRX 20 radiogram chassis. This one I've established has got bad rectifiers, so we'll just get to the where I am. I want to put this bloody thing on mute so it doesn't start to howl. There we go. Right. Go for that. And basically, I'm doing another repair for our good friend John. Good evening, John, if you are watching. I would imagine you are. Anyway, let's just get this a bit straighter. There we are. Right, let's go to the other camera. There we go. So with that round. There we go. Right, what we're going to do tonight, we're going to replace the rectifier in we just let the chat get up to speed first, let people join, not the chat, the ratings, the watchers, let a few people get in while I get sorted out. And I can put some shite out of my way so that I've not got everything all around me where I don't need it. I need the capacitor kits. I need those. Turn that. Just give the phone camera a wipe. Probably all fall off at this point. Is it dirty even? No, it's not. So there we go. Sorry about that, folks. We'll just give a couple of minutes to get things reconnected and sorted out and up and running, and then we'll, once a few people join in, we'll, what I'll do, I'll get the rectifiers out that we're going to need. We're going to replace they'll do. And we're also going to need the transformer test board, which we've got down there. We're not going to need that just yet. We're away from testing it. Got to repair the damn thing first. Right, well, apparently what's happened with this is it's blowing the top of the bottom fuse. And John reported smoke coming through the volume control. Anyway, we'll get to the bottom of all that. We'll get it fixed, and because I can't do any work on my own dynatron tonight. The reason why is I'm waiting for parts to appear. And what else is there? I'm just looking to see. Nobody on yet. Watching. One watching. Come on, who's the one who's watching? Say good evening to me. Say hello so I know who's there. Yeah. And what was going around last night about me not reading the chat. I do read the chat. I don't get to see always put my email address up. I just don't see it. You know, what a lot of people don't realise is I'm sat over there. Copy. I'm sat over there. And the computer is over here. And I can't see the screen. From there. I can't see the screen from there. So therefore, I have to right, now that's it sorted. Right. All we need now is some viewers. Right, well, without further ado, let's change to the other camera. And I will zoom in a little bit. That might be enough. So you can see me work. That's all it is, really. Just so you can see me work. And see if that's enough. Let's. Right. Fucking hell. Yes. Right, let's lift this unit up onto the bench. Alright. One person watching it, we'll get more than that all night. We should. We should. I'm optimistic. That's the power supply. Right. Put that up there because that's out of my dynatron. Right, so what we're going to be using really tonight, so what we're going to be doing, we're going to be replacing the 4 rectifiers in the rectifier board. And they remove some of this fucking shite. Fucking hell. There we go. Right. And we will also test the transistors and make sure everything's okay as well, and the capacitors. Right. Right. So basically, we get the meter. Right, if I get the meter, make sure my soldering iron's plugged in good and proper. Yeah, it is. Right. Now, basically, what the problem we've got here, we're going continuity. It's good. Right. The fuse is not blown. The fuse is not blown. The reason why the fuse is not blown, we'll take the fuse out. The reason why the fuse is not blown is because we haven't put it under stress yet. Now what we want to do now, we want to test the rectifiers. And that one there is blown. So what we'll do, we shall desolder our AC leads so that we can see our rectifiers easier. Fuck's sake. Take that off. Desolder that. Just took them up out of the way there. Now, let's good evening. I can't see who it is, but yeah, there's someone there. Good evening. Because it's that far away from me, you see. People think it's right on top of me, but it's not. So what we're going to do, we're going to take the diodes out, the rectifiers out, obviously. Yeah, this iron is a bit. Good iron for small jobs, but do this one again here. There we are. Now we need to find all our tools. And I'm going to undo. What's the best way? Will that blue screwdriver fit those? Yep. So we need that. See if we can get this to work. Mate, it's a bit tight. It's tight as Warby's wallet. I know it's tighter than his wallet. Fuck me. Let's just get the fucking clippers on there. Don't get a turn with them. Fuck off. Right. So the problem with these damn screws. Fuck me. I'll tell you what. I bet the engineers were laughing when they were putting these things in. We'll get them fucking bastards. We'll get them bastards in the future. We can put these things back together, set these apart to fix them. Right. that one. That's that one. Right, pull this shield off. And we've got room to move the amp. Now, next one. Is there. Move that out of the way. And give that a good shove. Now this board should lift out or to a position so I can service it. There we are. And there's our problems. Right. And that's where our problem is. Or at least the start of our problems, whether it's cures, whether it's all our problems. But there we are. I mean, we could have more than this wrong with it. Right, so let's and we could also, there's also a smell of burnt resistors, so we'll be checking the resistors as well. So we'll be checking all these resistors to make sure that everything, that I'm happy with everything. And to be honest, there's our first suspect. Look at him. Look at that. He's actually. Oh no, that's just over that resistor, over that diode. There's then a diode. We'll check him. We don't need to. I know the peels come off, but we don't need to worry about that. The reason why is because I've got the same value on the other board. Just check the bottoms of these. Yeah, they look okay. So what we'll do now, we'll get our component analyzer and we'll click one end to there. One end to there. Diode or diode junctions, it's telling me that is. Yep. I mean, it is blown. Yep. It is blown, I mean, because we've got a short across. That's the positive one there. Yeah, that's the positive one. If we get our meter, it may not show the short on the tester. The reason why, now our shorted one, I believe, is number 1 here. There you see. Now if we go to the next one, it's okay. Then the next one, okay. So, but what we're gonna do, we're gonna change. See, we're gonna change all 4 of them. We'll change just Try and untangle this fucking iron lead a bit. Right, well, what we'll do, we're going to change. You're going to be able to see me work there. I mean, there's going to be points or times where you're not going to see much. Right. Where's the fucking sucker gone? That's the question. And me dipper in her. There we go. Take note when putting diodes in. A diode is a semiconductor. Goes in one way. For those who don't know. Tell you what, didn't put a lot of solder on these fucking rectifiers, did they? They wanted to make sure they didn't give me too much. Yeah, they were making sure you weren't getting too much out of them. Absolutely. Now, what we'll do, we'll take the... Right, so, the two first ones. Let's clip that off. Where's the clippers? Hang on. Where the fuck's my clippers gone? Looking at the cutting thing in my hand a minute ago. Put the phone behind there, didn't I? And there's me. Right. So, yeah. Good evening, John. How are you, my friend? Oh yeah, I can see Don now. Hello, Don. Is it Don? Don Pulse? Yeah. Yeah, we're on your dynatron, mate. So basically, make sure you put your bullet. Make sure your bullets look like it, don't they? What I do, I replace these one at a time. Because these are BY127, by the way, that I'm putting in, and what we're taking out of BY127, more or less. We're putting in pretty much like for like. So I like to replace as I take out. So what we'll do, we'll bend that over. Bend over. Well, get in there, that's it. the way they've been cut when they chopped them off the machine. There we are. What we'll do, we'll feed that into there. And that way, when you do that, you can't go wrong. These are a bit thicker, these diodes. But we want them a bit thicker because the pads are a bit crap. So we want them a bit thicker, to be perfectly honest. Right, solder. Where's the fucking solder? There it is. Right. I only got 3 diodes out and I need 4. That's because of my clutch. See, I could put 1 diode in this and get away with it. I could, but I don't. Because the reason why I don't is because John could switch it on next week and another one could go. Tell you what, you know, don't make it fucking easy to work on these fucking little boards. I've got a vice somewhere, I just can't fucking find it. Oh, you just wedge it in between that, that'd be good. Bend that over a bit. Because they don't give you a lot of meat. You don't get a lot of meat on these boards. I mean, there's some of you are going to ask, why didn't I put a modern diode in, modern rectifier? And yeah, I could. But the reason why I've not is because I have got some, but go over those again. I'm not happy with them. I don't like the way they solder to these little boards because basically they're not. Oh shit, I've cut that one off and I needed a leg on that one to go there. To solder a leg on. Idiot. To solder a leg onto that one. So I need a bit more solder for there anyway. That's got it. Oh, lovely. What we'll do, we'll solder a leg on there when we need to. Solder this top one. That'll do. Better. So we'll save a leg. We need another diode out. So we've only really got one that's bad, but it's best to change them all. It's my opinion of it anyway. The next thing I'm going to clean with a fucking blade. It's been sat in stock for years. I hope my battery lasts me tonight. Fucking did last night, well beyond. There we go. Yeah, these 127s are a little bit bigger than what was in there. There we go. That's no great issue. And if they don't turn, if they're not fully undone when you try doing it, don't try forcing them. Dab it with the iron. You get it hot quicker and just pull them out. Ow. And that's it. And we've got a clear hole. We have a clear hole. Alright. Bend over. And make sure we put the I'm going to clip that because that is how it's come off the machine. It's better. Better. Yeah. We haven't got a clear hole. Just that the hole is not quite big as we'd like. So we'll just use our little tool. These fucking dials putting on weight or something. The first one went in, no problem. One in. Well, I'll actually. There we go. A bit tight. Because of the way they chop them, the way I chopped them. So what we'll do, we'll pull. Wouldn't it be a bastard if I'd put it in the fucking wrong way now? But I haven't. There we are. Bend that one over that way because we need the legs. And these are the same ones I used in my power supply in my dynatron there. So these are the same diodes I used. Lovely. Yeah, I can hear somebody rolling a wheelie bin around, and before I could clip that, before I do that, I'm going to clip that to make it easier. Right, that's two done. Lovely. That's one out. That other should fucking pop out, but there we go. Let's try. Don't you just hate it? You know it's fucking loose. Yeah. Just hate it. You know it's fucking loose and won't go. Right, and then one's gonna go downwards. You know, make it easier. There we go. There we go. Do 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 do. That one's undone actually. No, not quite. Let's clean the holes out. Right, that one goes that way. They are a bit big, these diodes for this board, but I could have put smaller ones in, but well, that's yeah. Yeah, we're right. next, because we lost a pad, we'll just put that bit like there, and that there. There we go. And just click that off. That replaces that. There we go. Perfect. Lovely. So I'm not bothered about these being long because they'll be clipped once they're put back through the board. Push that back down. There we go. Just clip that. Easier to solder when they're clipped. Lovely. Next one. Yeah, we're right. Some you get through, others you. There we go. Yeah, that's correct. I think what I might do with these in the future, folks, instead of putting 4 diodes on these, I might replace this board. So I might start replacing this board in the future with 4 diodes with 1 modern rectifier. That would sort it out. That would save a lot of this. I would have had this done by now if I'd have done that, but I have got some, but I don't know where they are. Now we need to add a leg to where we got one broken. It weren't broken, I couldn't off, didn't I? So we've got a leg there. There we go. Well, get the meter. Now our short across that should be cleared, which it is. So we'll put it onto diode test. Yep. 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 Just for doubly sure. Yep. Yep, they all read pretty much the same value. That's good enough. I'm going from end to end to make sure we've got a connection on everything. No, we haven't. We have. Lovely. We're good to go. Move all this shit out of the way. Just thinning this down a bit here. Oh, now my legs fell off. Ooh, now I've dropped my diodes. Ooh, come here, you. There we go. Right. We'll replace that capacitor as well. The problem we have here there we go. Now the positive is there. The positive is there. Double check this, make sure I've fucking done it right. I'm pretty sure I've done it right, but I like to check. Just see the diode through there. You just see them. Yeah. Yeah, that's correct. I'm going to have to take that apart in a minute anyway for that capacitor, because that capacitor's going to be fucked. It's probably what the smell was. And then what we do, look, you feed that back into that. That one is slightly off because it's the one I took the fucking leg off in it. I want to go a bit further down. Right. That'll do. That'll do. Hey. Good. 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 The only one I'm kind of concerned about, really, is this one. That's it. So we'll find out what value that capacitor is in a minute, put a new one in. Right. Now this capacitor needs to come out because it is blown. It's got hot and the paper's peeled off. Where's the sucker? Well, I hear fucking thing. I'm always losing it. Oh man, I've got two of the bastard things. Hey, I've just cleansed my colon. Getting a bit of a fishy smell. Fuck's sake, you'd think as we get the solder off, it'd pull out, wouldn't it? Twatting thing. Jesus. Get out. This is a fucking nuisance. It burns your fucking fingers. Fuck's sake. That's that one there. That's fucking undone. That one there. There we are. Right. See what it reads. I don't expect it. I expect it to be out of tolerance, but we'll find out in a minute. There we go. Let's see what it reads. Probably foot. Then again, might not be. But it ain't going back in. And what have we got? 1078. Wow, that's not a 1078. I'm fucking sure of that. Right, so what we'll do, we don't know where the paper's gone, do we? They pulled it off and shut the cunt. Oh, there it is. Can't fucking read that. Right, let's move this one out of the way. See what I don't need to take the. Well, this should be fucking difficult to get apart. It was only apart the other day. There we go. Let's have a look. Right, what is it? 16 volts. 220 microfarads. Fucking way up that one, it folks. That was fucking. That was higher than a hippie on the third day of an open air rock festival, wasn't it? So 220 at 50. 16 I think it was, but we'll put a slightly better one in. 220 at 25 volts will do us. So now I'm not going to bother test it. It's a new component. I expect new components to work. Right. Right. Make sure you put these in the correct way. The grey line with a minus in it is negative. The non-marked portion section is plus. Positive. Right, so we can. We're getting closer to that. We're getting closer to. Oh, don't want to pull on them aerial clips. I don't want to get another piece of solder off the roll, but I can't see the other piece I had, so I'm going to have to. Right. Now let's solder this. And then I might go and get myself a drink, make a brew or something like and that one there, which is there we go, we're happy with that, yeah. Right, put a couple of screws in it just to hold it. We're not putting all the screws in. I've got a feeling that it's not going to let us off that easily. It would be nice if it does. And I've got these wires here to solder back on as well. The transformer, must not forget those. Otherwise I'll be fucking sat there wondering why I'm getting nothing. And these are a pain in the ass to get back in. I mean, look. They came out but don't like going back in. Fucking horrible screws these. Look at that. Fucking things don't like going back in. Right, we'll sort all that out. Oh, I think that one. No, look, they don't like going back in. Right, let's put one in the front. Put one in the front. Just stop everything drooping, really. They don't like going in. I mean, right. Probably going to have to come back out anyway. So what we need to do next yeah. I did have a speaker, it's up there. Speaker up there. It's not the right one, but it'll do. We're only testing, we're only going to be on for a minute or so. Right. Right, good evening to everybody who's joined in. I'm now going to solder our AC leads into place. I didn't forget them, in case anybody thought I did. There we are. That's the AC back in place. We've got fuses in. Move that fucking bag, it's got a cartridge carrier and I don't want to get it broke. Right. That's a bit on the short side. So we'll have to put that that there. Now, I have to be careful around here. I don't touch anything because I don't fancy getting frazzled. Me and electric shocks don't get on. There we go. Right, that can go on anywhere because it's AC. So that can go on anywhere. And we also have a thermal fuse on this transformer as well. Replaceable thermal fuse. Thermal fuse is there. Get the fucking wire melted. There we are. Right, we've got a thermal fuse there, we've got a normal fuse there. Make sure that that normal fuse doesn't get hit by this. Get the speaker. And I want to turn the volume down, all this down, balance in the middle. And I want to go into we'll go into the right channel main. And we'll see. When you plug this back in, John, make sure you plug it in correctly and plug the speakers into the main sockets, not the remote. Nothing. Nothing. Try the other channel. We are getting something. We're getting nothing through it though. We are getting something in the speaker, but nothing. Try this channel. Nothing there either. Right. So has that fuse blown? Wonder if that fuse is blown. If that fuse is blown, there's a problem. Lift it out. No. No, the fuses are not blown. And right, so right. what we need to do now is see what we're getting. See what we're getting voltage wise. Right, we turned on here. Volume down. I'm just looking. We seem to have that. Yeah. So we've got that. So move the speaker. It's getting crowded on this fucking bench. Right. Let's see. I want to see if we've got any voltage residual in this thing. What's in? That meter in there. And we will check whoa, that fuse is lighting up. The fuse is lighting up, it's drawing too much current. Right, so right, that's a short somewhere. That shouldn't do that. Could be that. Nope. 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 No, I don't think that's it. Let's check. Transistor. We've got it coming off this lead here. Yeah. What I'm going to do, I'm going to turn it back on. I'm going to see what voltage. I'll turn it back on because 9 volts. Something's pulling that down. Let's take the fuse out. $13 volts. 17 there. 17 there. 13 there. So something's pulling it down there. Put that back on. Something's pulling it down. Right. Let's check this other one. There we go. I want to check. That's normal. Right. That's normal. So what's pulling it down? See, I might end up swapping the amp board, but I don't want to do that yet. I want to trace the fault. Right. We'll just check these capacitors. See, that does the same. So that's right, because I know I'm getting the voltage I need, so I know that's seeing the voltage it needs. So I'm beginning to wonder. So we'll look at that side of the diode in that one. I have to take this one apart. Oh no, it's only apart. There's a diode. Yes, there should be. Should be a diode on the rectifier there, ZD. That fucker there, I wonder if that bastard's gone. And that should be on that side of the capacitor. Just there. There's the cap, there's a diode. Let's check that. Right, let's have a look. We're looking for cap. And there's then a diode. Just be behind it, should be here. And that's it. That'll do it. I hope I don't have to change all them wires, that's going to be a fucking nightmare. I'd rather not. Be a nightmare doing that. This is quite a tricky one. So you test it from the other side might be easier. Right. There we go. There's that little diode. Pull the cover off it. Let's test that, see if it's gone. Because whatever the problem is, pulling the voltage down. Could even be a transistor, could have a transistor there. Or a regulator rather. That's not what I got. Check it on the diode check. That's okay. Hang on. Well, we found what you smelled anyway. John, I've just found what you smelled. That diode there burnt out, which probably means that this is a little regulator circuit here. That regulator could be fucked. Plot thickens. And also, that resistor there is gone. Not actually a resistor, it's a diode. Let's see if it's sure. It looks like a resistor. Pretend it's a diode. Let's see if that's short. See, that's what's happened because the rectifier's blown, you see. Yep. it's not reading. That can't be any good, surely. That can't be any fucking good. It ain't fucking reading. No, it's not reading that way. That can't be any good, surely. Fucking Alex. Fucking is. Burnt to a crisp, but it's reading. So we're going to replace it anyway. See what the other one says. .14. Check these resistors. The nice thing about having two boards, we can check the fucking values of the components. What's happened is, I think that diode there, that D261, that D261 is what's failed. Is what's failed. Rectifier's failed. Hasn't now, I've just replaced it. So we know the rectifier's good. Yeah. We know the rectifier's okay. Yeah, I'm just checking out that guy soldered on. So we know that that's, yeah, that's good. So we know the fucking leads get tangled up around each other. We know the rectifier's good. We know this generator is probably okay. So let's move this out of the way. Look at our other board. Well, that's what John smelt. And that the volume control is there. So the smoke came out of there. That's what burnt up that fucking diode. Yeah. That's what's fucking done it. Right, so what we need to do is check all these components around here. We're going to check it. We're going to have to check everything really. But luckily, luckily what I'm going to do, what I'm actually going to do, folks, to make life easier for me, I've got a little taste of the gob and all. You know, I've got the taste of bullshit in my mouth, which I'm getting, which I think is caused by the British government. I'm just going to clip this out of here because we ain't going to be using this chassis again anyway. And we're going to be using it for spares, so I'm going to be robbing bits off this one. Right. Lie down, Scraps. You're a good dog. It'd be good, they might give you a wine gum later. You like wine gums, don't? Oh no, I can't have eaten them all. So we'll disconnect all that there. So what we do, we just snip them really. I should now doubt. Yeah, I should be so lucky. There we go. Fuck me. Jesus. There. Now if that hadn't lifted out, then there's shit on the floor. There. See, all that's got to come apart anyway because I need one of the buttons off. Now that is supposed to have an heatsink on it because this has got one. And it hasn't. See, now I can go through this one, you see. Do a couple of checks. Because I know my voltage missing on this one, but I'm not sure where that's missing from, but I'm hoping. So check the diode. It's okay. Yeah. Check this one. Check this. Now where the fucking hell is that? Zena, there it is. Right. And we need to check that transistor as well. Transistor will need to be checked. Something's exploded right now, can't get onto that. Get onto it this way. Yeah, it's that one there. I'm not getting anything from that, so that could be open. Oh no, we're okay. We're on it. Right. Let's test that one. We get onto this one. Put this one out. So the Zena's okay. That Zena's okay, I believe. Yeah. We're okay there. So we've got to replace. Let's just check this transistor. No, I think we're okay with that. I think what we need to do is look at replacing this diode here. Which is just a standard rectifier, really. And this fucker, is that burnt there? No. So, whatever the fault is, it's on this channel. The fault's in here somewhere. So, Hmm. Let's check these resistors. I think it's not going to be an overnight job, this, John. I don't think. It's not going to be an overnight job. $20 ohms. I think that's wrong. I don't think that's right. It should be 221 ohms. Double check. 220 ohms it should be. And we opened up. We're counting up there, and we shouldn't do, we should go straight up. But the resistor itself isn't buggered. No. Just the one next to it. Two. I can accept a, we can't really read the markings on them. I can accept a slight discrepancy. There, 221. This channel here should all be okay. So we're going to just concentrate on this channel here because I think the fault's, I've got a feeling. I've got a feeling the fault's. I've got a feeling we might have a fucking driver down. I hope it in one of his ICs, mind you. They're easy enough to change out. Oops. Easy enough to change, it's just a pain in it. Hang on. No, I thought I saw something else now. So basically that diode there has to come out. I mean, I can stick my probe in there. That's got to come out. Check that capacitor there, they very rarely fail. That we're okay there. Go back to there. I've got a feeling we'll come off the fuse into the capacitor down into the transistor. See where all our components are blown. Yeah. Down there worries me. That down there worries me. That down there, that worries me. That transistor worries me. So what I'm actually going to do, folks, because that transistor is worrying me, I'm worried that transistor's bothering me because it's a regulator and there's a diode blown right near it. I mean, completely gone. You know, blown, not just fucking open. It's gone, blown, annihilated, and that's what really worries me. So, and I'm looking for other things while I'm doing that. Like that possible dry joint there. But for now, transistor worries me because I need to know that the circuit is going to be okay. I'm going to replace the diode. Move that out of the way as fucks anyway. Move that slightly out of the way. I should be able to just lift the transistor out. You know, you expect to be able to just lift them out, but you never do. They are. And that has to go back in the way it came out. Which is like that. And look at the way they bend the legs on them. Yeah. I'm going to make a brew in a minute, folks, and sit and have a chat with you lot, because this is going to take some time to sort out. I mean, I could take the easy route, change the board, but that's got a problem as well. So, what we got here? No component detected. Oh dear. Oh dear. No component detected. Told you that transistor bothered me, didn't I? No component detected. Well, it looks like we've got a duff transistor. It's actually gone open. Now let's check mine. Now let's get me sucker back on mine and check mine. Let's pull it easy. No, I won't pull the easy off in case of... See, somebody's been round this one once and it weren't me. This one's been replaced. Someone's been round it. There we go. Just that one there, I think. Yeah, gotcha. 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 Right. Get the old tranny checker, and see what we get on the. See what we get. Yeah, that's definitely been replaced because that weren't put in as neat as dynatron did it. That's had a new transistor put in. I wonder if it's a common fail point. I haven't repaired enough of these to find out. Because they generally all the ones I get generally work. Yep, we're on. All the ones I get generally are okay. NPN bipolar transistor. So that one's working. Right. So we know that one's working. So we know that ain't the problem. Let's just double check this one again. But I'm pretty sure I'm going to stop in a minute because I'm going to go on to the top of the legs where they were soldered to the board. I find that's usually the best way. But I'm pretty sure No component detected. So that fucker's open. I mean, it's as open. That's as open as a prostitute's legs. I mean, that's really open. So that's got to be replaced. So what we'll do, we'll stick that fucker in there because we know this one's good. And we also got to replace the diode. Oh, hang on. That's got a loose leg on it. But no, it ain't good because the leg's just snapped off. Oh dear. Oh dear. So it ain't good because the fucking leg's just broke off it. Oh, yeah, twat. I wonder if that was why I was missing the voltages to where I needed them on my board. That leg was fractured. I wonder if that was the case. I can't read the fucking number on that. Can I read the number on that one? I would have done. It's gone on the fucking floor. Where's me? There it is. Let's see if we can read the number. What a fucker, eh? The leg just snapped off it. Twats. Now let me have a look. MA 8003. We need to go on the net and find out. So I'm not doing any more on it tonight because I haven't got a transistor. I might have one in my regulators box. I'll have to try and find my regulators box because it is a regulator. I don't know where my regulators are. I need to find them. So, you know, we're gonna have to order, at the very least, order one of them in. Are you watching us? Are you watching tonight, Oracle? Have you got one of those in your stash? And if you have, is there any chance you can get it to me? I don't mean like right now, but rather sharpish at some point. Because ordering on eBay, I don't know how long it's going to take to get the bloody thing. And ooh, I'll read the number out again, Steve. I'll read the number out again. I'm gonna have to put one in. I don't know where my box of regulators are. It is a regulator. I'm sure it's a regulator. I'll tell you what, you know, I feel like a dick wearing this. It does the job. MA. That's Mike Alpha 8003. It's Steve. So leave that there. There's not really a great deal I can do because I haven't got one to hand. I have got somewhere a box of voltage regulators, but I do not have a clue where they are. They could be fucking anywhere. Right, well, let's have a look at the chat and see what's going on here. Data Pulse, hi Data Pulse. I've said hello to John, who owns the Dynatron. Hi Daniel, I'll send you my contact details later in an email, and you can contact me about work that you need doing. As sure 123. Hello, Steve 4 UK at 405. Hello, Steve. Steve Ross. Oh, you're up in Glasgow there, Steve. I used to live in Edinburgh, you know. I used to live in Edinburgh in the early 90s. I liked it. It's a beautiful place, Scotland. It's far too good for you, jocks. You should all move down here and let us move there. It's a beautiful part of the country. It really is. A beautiful part of the. Are you still in the United Kingdom? I don't know. But it's a beautiful part of the Isle anyway. That's definitely for sure, without a doubt. It's a voltage regulator, Steve. Let me just give you a ring. We'll just give you a ring. Yeah, we're going to go live here on the telephone. I got a text message off Anne. Oh, that can keep. I'll read that after. No disrespect to Anne. Right, so I need to give the Oracle a ring. Yeah, we're about to have the Oracle online. If I can find him. Where are you, Mr. Oracle? You know, I could actually do a FaceTime, but I'm not going to. We'll just use the telephone as normal. Hello, Mr. Steve, and how are you today? Hello? You've disappeared. Enable Wi-Fi call. Hello, Steve. Yeah, I don't know what happened there. It went tits up. I said, hello, Mr. Steve, how are you doing? And it went dead.
Yeah, I know.
Yeah, it's a voltage regulator, Steve.
MA8003.
Yeah.
Hang on. I'll turn down the Peter. Hang on. MA8003. I've got one to hand. What voltage is it regulated to?
I think. Do you remember that 25-volt line I was missing?
Yeah.
I think it deals with that.
Okay, right. I'll have a look. If I've not, by the way, I know my supplier has done, so I'll get one that's straight in order.
Right, because I don't want to wait for eBay, because you could wait forever in this current climate.
No, this lot of quick. This lot of quick.
Yeah, that's what we need. I mean, yeah, but there's quite a few things in this blown up, to be honest.
Yeah, and I was watching. Yeah.
Yeah.
Check everything else. I loaded two actually, so that just in case.
Yeah, because you never know, do you? I mean, there's a diode.
No.
I mean, no. That transistor bothered me because there's a diode right next to it that's gone pop.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. John switched it on, and he said that he was that he got smoke after a couple of minutes or something. He got smoke coming out of the volume control.
Yeah.
You know, and that lot's right under there, and the fuse was good. It's not a dead shot because it would have blown the fuse straight away. You know, but the fuse was beginning to glow like an electric element.
Has it regulator blown of its own accord, or something blown it?
I think it's just blown with age.
Oh well.
I think the transistor's been blown by the diode next to it.
Okay, fine. Yeah.
Because the diode's completely blown. I mean, it's blown apart.
Yeah.
So that's what's killed the transistor.
Yeah. Just check the transistors as well. Make sure they're okay.
Yeah, the outputs.
Yeah, on the driver. Yeah.
Yeah. Well. Do you know something? There isn't any drive. Do you know there isn't any drivers in this?
Oh.
No, I think. You know them two integrated circuits.
Yeah.
I think the drivers are done through that.
Okay.
Because there's no. Because all that's on that circuit board, Steve. If we get the circuit board and put me fucking. Where's me fucking squints? Put me fucking giglets back on. All that's on that circuit board. If I get the one I've just clipped out.
Hmm.
You probably saw me surgically remove it.
Yeah.
Uh, all that's in here, Steve, transistor wise, is that regulator that's gone open.
Yeah.
I mean, that's open wider than a prostitute's legs.
Yeah.
You can't get any wider than that.
Yeah.
And there's a diode next to TR202 which is blown.
Yeah.
Well, it's not blown, it's coming up okay, but you can stick your probe in the diode.
Yeah.
So that's got to be replaced. It seems to have happened on one channel. All the damage seems to have happened on one channel nearest the rectifier.
Is the rectifier okay?
Yeah, I've just rebuilt the rectifier board.
Okay, fine, yeah. The transformer's okay.
Yeah, I'm using my own test transformer.
Okay, fine, just making sure you know.
Yeah, no. I get where you're coming from.
Yeah.
But when I tested that transistor, it tested no component detected. And the one I pulled off, the one I pulled off this board, I don't know whether you saw it, but it was one of those moments where your fucking heart just goes right down to your boots.
Yeah.
The fucking one that legs fucking came off in my hand.
Yeah.
It was corroded, you see. Corroded, you see. And that's probably why I was missing my 25-volt rail on mine.
Yeah.
Because that leg was probably wonky. If I'd have tapped that transistor, I might have got the 25-volt rail back.
Yeah.
But I think that's what the problem was. But I need to get that sort of ordered. I'll give you the money for it. I've got the money here.
No, don't worry about that. Well, look, you're not familiar with that TV, so, you know.
Yeah, that's besides the point, though, isn't it? Doing that because you're a good friend.
Yeah.
Not doing it to get any reward out of you.
Yeah, anyway, I'll go to my supplier and get a couple of cents. As soon as she's around, I'll shoot them down to you.
Oh, nice one, Steve.
Okay.
Okay. There's not much more I can do with this until they come. I mean, I could be busy myself with replacing the components, but replacing the diodes and stuff. But there's no point. I may as well do it all in one hit.
Yeah. Okay.
So that's going to sit there now until we get it finished, and I'll give John a quick ring in a minute. He's probably seen what's going on anyway.
Yeah.
Anyway, I shall leave you to it, my friend.
Okay, I'll get back to watching you.
Okay, cheers, mate.
Yeah, take care.
I'll catch you later, buddy. Bye, mate. There we go. That's my transistors ordered, more or less. So we'll get that transistor in. We'll get some diodes in, and we'll see where we go from there with it. I mean, it's well, nearly broke my glasses. It's to be honest with you, folks, it's it's a bit of a letdown, that, to be honest, because I was a bit optimistic. Let's zoom out. I was a bit optimistic, folks. I thought I was going to do it tonight in one go because, you know me, I like to try and get things done, but it ain't going to happen. That's not going to happen tonight. We're not going to get that done tonight, I'm afraid, which is a shame. New message request. I keep getting message requests from somebody called Andrew Want or Waint, and I don't even know who he fucking is. I don't want to know who he is. I don't want to know who he is. You got a clue who he fucking is? I don't want to know. I've got a clue who he is. The point being, Why is he going to the fucking trouble of fucking picking on me? Well, he's not picking on me. He's just trying to fucking Andrew Wayne. Really? Oh, fucking hard man, as solid as they come. Yeah, okay, whatever. I don't like people like that. You know. Looks fucking well hard and all. Not. Anyway, that's another matter. Let's go back to there. Yeah, it's fucking. Are we in tier 5 lockdown? I don't know. Anyone around here? Anyone on the chat from the Stockport area? Are we in tier 5 lockdown? I heard a rumour that we were going into tier 5 lockdown, and I've not been able to find much about it because I don't really watch the telly, and I can't be asked. I can't be asked turning the fucking radio on. I've got a choice of many radios, just can't be bothered. Oh yeah, COVID news is live as latest. Boris Johnson has a wank in front of the whole British public. Oh, that should be worth watching. Yeah, Boris Johnson having a tug in front of everybody. Yeah. Yeah, so it's yeah, so if you're watching, John, it's gonna be a few it's gonna be a bit longer than I thought it was, because you had me on the phone to Steve, I hope, and Steve is ordering a transistor in for us, and he'll get it to me as soon as he gets it. That's great. And there's not really much else I can say, is there? I mean, at the end of the day, I was a bit disappointed. I was a bit disappointed that that leg fell off that transistor. I mean, that's one of those fucking moments where your heart just drops to your boots. It's fucking your heart just sinks, and you think, fucking hell. Because I could have put that in, but that's probably why the 25 volts rail was missing. On mine, I think that feeds the 25-volt rail. That regulator feeds the radio, John. And to anyone else watching, oh yeah, I just saw your message there, John. Yeah, no, we will get you sorted, but I have got a fucking box of regulators somewhere. I just don't know where they are, and the people who've moved in upstairs have got a young child. I can't go ferreting around at this time of the night. But yeah. I will check the output transistors, especially in that channel that's got a blown diode. I will check that. There's them two. There's no drivers, though. You expect to find drivers. Where there's outputs, you expect to find pre-drivers, and there is none. I think the pre-drivers are done through them ICs. There's two ICs, one for the left and one for the right. I think it's done through them. So I might swap them as well. Because I don't really want to throw components in and keep blowing components. That's not what we. Cheers for that, Steve. I owe you one, my friend. Nice one. Yeah, because I want to get this done because this John's a really nice guy. He's all right. Top chap. But it'd be nice to. He must have a very understanding wife though, because he's got 3 radiograms. He bought one off me and 2 that he bought elsewhere. Would all wives be like that? Would be great, wouldn't it? Because when I was married, my missus used to moan. everything I took in the house she whinged about, and I used to ignore her, but she still whinged, but yeah. And some women, you get some women and they don't really care. That's the sort of woman I'm looking for, one that doesn't really bother. And yeah, top one. So, well, I may as well knock the soldering iron off because it's fuck all else I can do. Turn that off. I'm not a rich man, you see. Have I left that meter burning the battery up? No, I haven't. But yeah, I was a bit disheartened when that leg fell off that transistor, but at least the transistor is still available. And the 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 diode next to is just a standard, just an ordinary standard, bog standard diode, really. Hey, we're up to 10 people. We're up to 10 people. Makes me want to stay a bit longer. I'll tell you what, folks. My battery lasted last night, didn't it? On that phone. I mean, it doesn't usually last that long. It usually gets fed up after about 2 hours, but it went on for way longer than that. I mean, it shows how much I can yap, doesn't it? I mean, it really does. I'm just looking. Yeah, a lot of people, a lot of people enjoy watching my channel. I mean, I don't know what it is. I don't know whether it's, is it for the education? Is it for the farts? Is it for the persona? Is it because everybody thinks I'm just a cool guy? Or is it because there's fuck all on the telly? But yeah, it's nice to know that there's a lot of people watching. You want to try Steve at Steve UK for Steve UK. Yes, Steve UK 405. Yeah, go and watch his channel. He's really, 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 really top. He explains everything. He chats and like the rest of us, he has a little rant every now and again. Another one is Jay. Jay from Jay's Vintage Junk. Jay is a man of, I think I've said it before, is sort of like a Swiss Army knife of YouTubers. He can, he'll have a go at anything. I mean, he's even been on welding a Land Rover before today. And, Jay's not scared to turn his hand to pretty much anything. He'll have a go. He's more into his vintage computers, but he will play with radios and tellies and record players. You name it, Jay will have a go. Yeah, it'd be nice for him to get back to that TV, wouldn't it? He was here yesterday, actually, Steve. He was here yesterday, and he was saying he is going to get back to it. He's just, he just had that issue with his Dell PC, and he wanted to sort of like resolve that. He wanted to resolve that, and that's what he did. Yes, that's what he was doing over at weekend. But I mean, let's face it. Jay's not short of a computer, but I think that's the best one he's got. So he needs it running. So and that's why I think. But I want him to get onto Mildred's ashtray, Project Mildred's ashtray. We need him to get back onto that. And if you're watching this, Jay, the homemade record player. We haven't seen nothing of the homemade record player for a while. The last time you played with that, you tried two different circuits and it sounded good on one of them, to my ears anyway, and not so good on one of the others. So we need to get you back onto that. What's the problem you got, Steve? Well, you got a problem with the damn set crappy? What's the matter with it? I'll just wait for Steve to reply. Because if I can help him out here, and if he'd have said that on the phone, I'd have stayed on the phone with him. Just see what Steve's got to say. It's not very often Steve has to ask anybody else. He usually knows it all. He does know it all. It's not. It's. Oh, the PC. Oh, right. Yeah, that's because you got Linux. I could keep telling you that. Get Windows 10. Because you got Linux. I thought you had problems with your Dansette Crappy. Or as most people know it as the Dansette Capri. Yeah. It's because you've got Linux. I put fucking Linux Mint on my PC once, and it fucking worked for a few days. It was brilliant. Right. Well, if you can't manage it, Steve, next time you come, bring it with you. I'll do it while you wait, and put you some new thermal paste on. And yeah, it could be. Yeah, it could be. It could be just the. Yeah, yeah, that one I've got in the dining room. That one I've got in there. That was doing it. When you turned it on, it would freeze after about 5 minutes or something. Sometimes 10. But on the third boot up, it would stay on and run forever. Anyway, I took the CPU out, I just blew on the CPU pins, cleaned them a little bit because there was thermal paste on them, and managed to get it off, and I put new thermal paste on the top of the chip and put everything back together, and I've not had a problem with it since. I know you've been using Linux for years. Time you tried a real operating system. I mean, let's face it, Windows is a bag of shit, but at least it supports everything. They'll never bring a piece of hardware out that Windows doesn't support. It's always going to. But yeah, right. Yeah, Windows. Windows is not the best. I mean, as far as I'm concerned, Mac OS is the best. But the problem with Macs are expensive. Macintosh computers are dear, and they're not for every man. And they don't support a lot of software. There's a lot of software programs that are not supported. I mean, there's more than what there's ever been, but there's still not everything's there. But oh fucking hell, Vista, that was shit. But it wasn't as bad as that other one though. That fucking the worst operating system. Before I tell you, let me ask you. What was the worst operating system Microsoft ever made? How many of you actually know that one? And how many of you even remember it? Go on, it's open to everybody. Well, Steve thinks it was me. No, I'm not an operating system. Yeah, I know what you mean. Steve thinks it was Millennium Edition. I'm not going to say whether he's right or wrong then, because I know the answer, and I know Steve knew it. I want to see how many of you. I just fucking let it out now, haven't I? Yeah, it was. It was Windows Millennium. Because Windows Millennium was a cross between Windows 98 Second Edition and Windows 2000. In truth, it was neither one of them. And they tried mixing two, and it didn't work. And they even took out the restarting. That's when they took out the restarting DOS mode, restarting MS DOS mode. That disappeared at Millennium, and there is no real mode DOS anymore, which is a shame because they should have left the restarting DOS mode in for those that want to restart in DOS. I mean, I used to play games that were DOS based. You still can, but you have to do it through a command prompt. But you know, with Windows 98 and anything below, you got DOS with it. It was just in there. But nowadays, you don't. You have to run it through a command prompt or run a machine that's old enough to remember DOS. You know, I've never thought of it. You know, I've never tried to run DOS on Windows 10. I wonder if it does have a command prompt where you can run that will actually emulate MS DOS. Because it doesn't run it in real DOS. It runs an emulator, I believe, but I could even be wrong. I have been known to be wrong before, you know. It has happened because I'm not a computer expert. Well, I'm not an expert at anything. I just seem to know things. Anyway, folks, it's one of those days. One of those days when you know, when you wish you could wind back the clock and go back and say to yourself, well, did that leg really fall off that transistor? And yes, it did. But you know, we shouldn't have a problem getting this damn thing working. But I am going to pull all the outputs. The nice thing about the outputs is they're all soldered on the back of the board. So you just lift the legs up and float them. Just lift the two of the legs up and leave the center one connected. Just float them. And it'll tell me. It will say whether or not they're open or closed or short. I don't think any of them are short. But we have got problems. That fuse shouldn't glow like an element for a start. Shouldn't do that. You know, if it had been mine, I would have left it to see how long it took to blow it. But I didn't want to cause any more damage. Yeah, I didn't want to cause any more damage on the board, so and it isn't mine, so I didn't want to cause any more damage, so that was why I turned it off. If it had been mine, I'd have let it go all the way to find out. Let's see what Steve's. There is more than one version of DOS. Microsoft put alarms in Windows so that people would pick MS-DOS. Yeah, I know that, but MS-DOS was compatible with everything, wasn't it? I mean, there were a few different versions. I understand that, Steve. Yeah, you know, and I mean, it was all part of the Dirty Tricks campaign, wasn't it? In the you know, well, from the dawn of from the birth of from the birth of Bill Gates, all the way up till fucking now, I suppose. You know, from when he first started all the way up until now. It was all dirty tricks, really, wasn't it? Let's change the camera because you're just looking at that shit that I can't do now with until we get the bits. We've got 16 people in. Lovely. The more the merrier. I was going to fuck off, but I won't. I'll stick around for a bit. I'll hang around like a fart in a Volkswagen. Right, let's see if I can get this a bit straighter and a bit further towards me without the phone flying off. Yeah, Yeah, I'll hang around like a fart in a Volkswagen. Oh, you're okay, mate. Which one are you going? Which one are you looking at? There's many up there, and there's a good choice. Yeah, yeah, there's a good choice. So will you enjoy it? And yeah, click the like button if you enjoy the video. If you don't enjoy it, then yeah, obviously. Yeah, you have a good night, Stephen. Thank you very much for coming in. It's Steve Ross, that is. It's always a pleasure. I don't think I've seen you before, but it's always a pleasure for anybody to come in, as long as they're going to be polite and, not be, what's the word, offensive, and nobody usually is. There's very few people that come on here into my channel and they're offensive. There's not many. And they get blocked as soon as they do. So, that's as simple as that. But yeah, so I'm really disappointed that I never got that done tonight. But hey, it happens, I suppose. Oh, you're welcome, Steve, my friend. No, welcome. No worries. But at the end of the day, I just think, what, I'll tell you what though, if you haven't got a peak, I need a shave. If you haven't got a peak atlas transistor component analyzer, I suggest that you put your hand in your pocket and you purchase one. Also, their capacitor testers, I suggest that you purchase them as well. I can't remember what models they are, but yeah, you've seen me use them. There's videos on there about me using them, and people say they don't make things in the UK. The little Atlas testers, they're made in the UK. They're actually made in Buxton. And they're made in-house at Buxton because the guy from there told me. Because I was talking to a guy on the phone a few years back. And he explained, because I blew one up, believe it or not. And he said, if you send it back, he said, we'll replace the parts that you've blown up. I said, what, just the board? He says, oh, no. He said, we won't give you another board. He said, you get your own board back, but we'll replace what you've damaged. We'll figure out what you've damaged and replace them. Anyway, I never sent it in. I lost the board. I still not found that. Can't remember where I put it. So I just put my order in, and I thought, well, I was a bit flush that week. I thought I may as well. Yeah, I may as well order the full set that I need. I may as well order the 4 instruments that I need, which was the 2 capacitor testers. Well, one of them's a component analyzer. It does capacitors, inductors, and resistors and stuff like that. Then I got I also got the LSR, whatever it happens to be, the in series, the equivalence in series equivalence checker. The SR tester. I got that. I got, what else I get? I got a triac checker. Which checks triacs and thermistors. Or thyristors, sorry. I think. And I also got, oh, you could, you could, hang on, yeah, oh, yeah, I pinch you could use an AVO. I've got an AVO 8 for an AVO 7 here for you, Steve. I've had it knocking about for a bit, as you know. It's had your name on it for a while. I'll have to get that down off the shelf for you. And next time you got a bit of room in your car, we'll put a box of stuff in the car for you. There's a few things here. There's a grand deck. spare gram deck that you said you wanted, so we've got that for you. A few bits, you know. God Almighty. I might try and find my shaver in the morning and have a shave. Look at the state of my boat race. State of my hair look like Einstein. Gone wrong. Yeah, so I've still not found out whether we're in full lockdown in Stockport. I remember my neighbour Frances before she went into the old people's home that she's currently residing in. I went up to see. I went up as I quite frequently did to see how she was. And I happened to mention I was going to Aldi with Mildred later in the day. Oh, she says, you couldn't pick me up a chicken, could you? And you know something? I never thought I'd hear myself say it. I said, Francis, I says, you ain't gonna get a chicken. You know, that not these days, that's not gonna happen. Right, well, that sorted that out then. Cheers, Steve. You know, at the end of the day, the whole of England is in lockdown. Fucking hell. Do you know something? It's getting bad, isn't it? You know, it's getting bad, folks. It's terrible. I mean, we're known as fucking Pox Island now. Britain were known as Plague Island or Poxy Island or something, I'd have to remember reading. I'm going to fuck off in a minute and get something to eat and a drink. And I was going to say clear the bench, but there's not really much point. That may as well stay there till it's finished. But at least we know. At least we know one side of the power amp is actually running. One side of the power amp is actually running because I heard the volume going up. So one side's running. So we'll dig into that when that transistor turns up. And I mean to be honest with you, I could actually I could actually fire the radio up on that. Just straight from my DC supply there, just feed a little bit of voltage and it would actually fire the radio up. But I'm not going to do that. I might do that to show you how it's done. You know, without going through the rest of the system. And but I won't get that out of it because my signal tracer's bust and I've not had a chance to repair it yet. You know, doing electronics, it's a bit like being a tailor. You notice whenever you see a tailor who's always got a button missing off his shirt or his jacket, you know, because he never has the time to do his own jobs. And it's the same. Good evening, Harvey. And how are you this very fine lockdown evening? Yeah. Yeah, I'm well, mate. I'm well, Aaron. Thank you. I don't know. I don't know how much of the video you've seen, or how much of it you haven't seen, but yeah, they might give you a bit of grace, Harvey, because they did in the first lockdown, didn't they? They shut down all the MOT stations and they gave everybody a bit of grace until they opened, didn't they? You know, they didn't matter about it. I mean, the MOT is just a scam anyway, isn't it? like everything else. Yeah, it does prevent people from driving around in bangers. I mean, real bangers. I mean, things that are rock boxes that are falling to bits. It does stop people doing that, but the MOT is only valid on the day you get the test done. The next day, something could happen, and it could make the car lethal or the motorbike lethal, and you got it MOT'd. I mean, uh, I used to take my motorbike to a place called Howard's in was it, oh yeah, Howard's in Stockport, Howard's and Sons in Stockport, and I only ever took it to that place, and I wouldn't use anywhere else because they failed it if they weren't happy. If they weren't happy, they failed it, and I weren't happy. So, you know, yeah. Well, you do. You say, you get people who are a bit what's the word? Unscrupulous, and they'll take, they'll put a car through that's lethal because they know the guy that owns it or whatever. They'll put it through, and you know, the other thing I don't fully agree with is classic cars. Anything made before 1974, I believe it is, doesn't have to have an MOT. Well, I think that's wrong. I think if you drive on the public roads, then it should have to be tested because things wear out. I mean, I knew a guy once called Dave Whitley, and he had a comma van, and he was going to Blackpool, and he was going down the motorway, and his wife says, Dave, he says, what? She says, where's that wheel come from? It was one of his front wheels, you know. Yeah, it reminds you of that Kenny Rogers song, doesn't it? You picked a fine time to leave me loose wheel. But my dad had a wheel come off on an Austin Princess. He had a wheel come off, and it was MOT'd. So it don't mean nothing, does it? I mean, an MOT adds a bit of extra value. If it's MOT'd, it means that the person who's buying it doesn't have to have it done for a few months. But when I was buying my motorbikes and scooters and stuff, I never used to bother about the MOT because I used to take them and have them done, regardless, because I don't know I don't know the person personally who did the last one, and I do know the person at my local bike shop, and that's why I go to him because he lets nothing through. I had a crack in the wall of one of my tyres, only a small crack, but he pulled it up on it and he failed it. And I rang my mate. Mick, and I says to my mate Mick, because Mick knows the guy who owns the shop. I says to Mick, I says to Dave at the shop, I said, Mick wants a word. Well, Mick says, listen, Dave, he says, stick Andy a new tyre on. He says, now I'll come in throughout the week, and so I'll come in one day in the week. He says, I'll sort you out for it. He says, and Andy will sort me out when he gets his wages. I was working then, and so anyway, Dave shouted to his mechanic, Brian, shove a tyre on that scooter for Andy, and Mick's going to come in. And they're the sort of places where you want to go. If they're not happy, they'll fail it, and that's how it should be. I mean, if I was an MOT guy, I'd be very, very strict, and I know I would. Oh, fucking so. Yeah, they do. Yeah, they do. They swap the tyres, don't they? A mate of mine told me that. I used to have this friend called Phil Dobbs, and he used to work on taxis, repairing taxis. He says, he said the same taxi had come in the week later with a different set of wheels on it. You know. That's right. Yeah, they were known for it. Yeah. Well, I remember. Well, I remember a couple. I remember back in the mid 2000s, Steve, about 2008, 2009 or something. They were using CB radios as taxi radios, so they didn't have to pay the licenses for taxi radios. Anyway, what they were doing, they were going on channel 30, I think it was. They were channel 30 or channel 31, and me and my mates all went up and started keying them out and talking over them and everything. Anyway, they fucked off onto mid-band, what in Europe they call it CEPT. They fucked off onto that. We call it mid-band in the UK. Or at least I call it mid-band because that's what it is. Uh, anyway, they went on to mid-band, and so we followed them and went on there and they disappeared. But yeah, they're not supposed to use it. I mean, you can use since band radio has been deregulated, you can use it for business. But why should they get away with using it for taxi business and they're not, paying the proper companies that provide the proper radio equipment? If I got a taxi and he turned up and he had a CB for his radio, I wouldn't get in it. I would automatically smell a rat. I would. And when it comes, let me tell you, folks, when it comes to smelling rats, I'm very good. I can smell a rat a mile away. But, I wouldn't get in a taxi if they had a CB. If I spotted a CB radio, I do know what a CB radio looks like. If I spotted one in a taxi, I wouldn't get in one. I wouldn't get in. I certainly wouldn't. But, that's what they were doing. Yeah, but yeah, Phil told me, he said he used to swap the tyres. Because he pulled one. He said, I put a new set of wheels on that last week. And they swap and get about 2 or 3 through. Yeah. Fucking with dodgy tyres. It's all wrong, really, because, I mean, to be perfectly honest, right, I had a friend, he's dead now, my friend Steve. Steve Latham, he's gone now, God rest his soul. And we were best friends for 20 odd years. And he used to call me the for nothing man. His girlfriend said once, which later became his last wife, she says, what do you call him, the for nothing man? He said, because if he fucking is something for nothing, his fucking his head pops up, he's there. That's why I call him the for nothing man. He says, anything for nothing, he says, it doesn't matter what it is, if anything for nothing and he's there. Yeah. I've heard lots of stories, Aaron. Yeah, didn't somebody bring in a car to South Main also, yeah, claiming it was safe to drive and it was, yeah. I can believe that. I mean, I've got in taxis before today, and you can see the floor through, you can see the road through the floor, But I think I'll be perfectly honest with you. I think if an MOT station abuses its MOT status, then its MOT status should be removed, you know. And that's why I use Howard's in Stockport when I have a motorbike. I don't have one. I only buy 125 shitters. That's all. I like them. But you know, and in that place they will not overlook anything. They won't overlook anything. I said to him once, I took my bike in and he failed it on something. I said, "Well, can you not just pass it, Brian, and I'll go home and I'll get it done and come back." No, he says I can't. He says I can't. He says we can't afford to lose our MOT status. He says we can't afford it. He says I will not do it. He said that's not going to happen. He said when you bring the bike in for testing, he says if it fails, it fails. I said, well, how much I can't remember what it was. I said, how much is a repair? He says, 30 quid. I said, well, I need the bike for work tonight. Can you do it this afternoon? He says, I'll do it now. I says, right, well, I'll go and have a walk around Aldi and Stockport. I'll come back in a couple of hours, pick my bike up, I had it done. But, yeah, when when your MOT stations are strict as that, you use them because they know you know for a fact that they're not going to send you out. They're not going to send you out on a motorbike that's not safe. And I've seen them do them and seen them do mine, and man, do they go over it. I mean, they give you your usual fistful of advisories and things like that, And he says to me once, he's the MOT guy. He says your brakes. He says your back brake's not as sharp as what it should be. I said, but I don't like my back brake too sharp, Brian. He says, yeah, but it's not about what you like. He says, it's about what we want to see and what the law says should be right. He says, oh, nip your back brake up. Because I don't like a sharp back brake. Because I used to do most of my braking on the back. And I used to have the sense to drop the throttle soon enough. So I unsharpened it. I blunted it a bit. I got home. I just wound it off a turn or two. I just don't like them. I don't like it. I don't like it where you can press the brake and it's capable of skidding. I don't like it. I don't like them locking up. I mean, the front one you can do fuck all about that because it was hydraulic. Yeah, they are very, very stringent in that place, and that's what you want. You want people that are stringent, people that are strict, and well, I don't like doing anything like that. I mean, I don't really. I'm not really into skids. I don't like doing skids. Yeah, man, I do end up with plenty of my undies. Fucking. But that's the only place I think you should see a skid mark. But I'm not really into doing skids. They fuck your tires off as well. And you think of the strain. You think of the strain. You're revving your engine, and all of a sudden you drop the clutch. You take your foot off that clutch. Look at the tolerances you're putting under that. Look at the strain and the extra tolerances that you're putting on that engine, and it was never built to do that. You know what I mean? I've seen one. I've seen one down Stockport. With small penis exhausts on it, loud as fuck. And it went screaming past me, got to the fucking lights, and all of a sudden this fucking steam came out of nowhere. He fucking blew up, didn't he, the daft cunt? The manufacturers, they build those engines to a tolerance. And if the tolerance is exceeded, of course something's going to fail. It's designed to, it's built in. But at the end of the day, yeah, staying on the subject of MOTs, then yes, if an MOT station abuses his privilege, because it is a privilege to be an MOT station, it's not a right. It's a privilege, and it's a privilege that you have to earn and you have to guard. You have to safeguard it because, a lot of places it's their bread and butter, like Howard's. It's their bread and butter. Uh, Mark 2, you mean the Mark 2 Jag? You put a hag there. You mean the Mark 2 Jag with a V8 engine? Well, they actually did a version of the Mark 2. They did a version of the Mark 2 with a V8, but it was known as the Daimler. It was the Daimler V8, and it was exactly the same as a Mark. It was exactly the same as the Mark 2 Jag, except the front grille. So they were available they were available if you wanted a Daimler version with a V8, but the Jaguar never came with it. But yeah, I know some people have put them in, put V8 engines into Jags. I mean, the most famous V8 engine in this country is a Rover one, isn't it? Because of its high performance and endless tunability. I do know a little bit about cars. I'm no mechanic. You can always tell good mechanics because good mechanics when they're working don't swear. Yeah, I think I might have come across it, Aaron, but I'm not sure, mate. I'm not really sure. I'll look out for it now, but you know, yeah, but you could get the V8 Jaggers in Daimler format. It's the same thing. You just have a different grille, and a V8 engine. Um, it's like Rolls Royces. Bentleys were exactly the same car as Rolls Royces. The only difference uh, was the badges and maybe a slight, maybe other details like maybe the Bentley engine was tuned to give it a few more horsepower. But Rolls Royce never ever disclosed the horsepower of their vehicles. All they would say is it's sufficient. Uh, that's all they would say. They never ever disclosed the horsepower. It always said, even in the manual, it never told you what the horsepower was. It always said it was sufficient. Which is all you need to know, isn't it? You don't need to know that your engine's 300 horsepower, as long as when you put your foot down on the fucking pedal, it goes, and it does what it's supposed to do. It doesn't matter what the horsepower is. If they say it's sufficient, they're bound to know that because they built the car. Anyway, here comes Trump, and Donald's not for long in now, is he? Oh, yeah, that was a good Donald. I'll tell you what, folks. More than two sniffs of that fucking in you, greedy. Yeah. Anyway, I think it's about time I made a move because what are we? We're at 11 o'clock almost, and it's time I went. And I'm not going to class the dynatron as a fail because it's not a fail because we've worked out why it doesn't work roughly. We've got a very, very good idea why it doesn't work. The reason it doesn't work is fucked. So we've worked that out, and we've worked out why it's fucked, so we can repair it. So no worries. Anyway, folks, listen. You all have a good day tomorrow. Good night tonight. What's left of it. You all stay safe, and no matter what country you're in, remember that at the end of the day. Remember at the end of the day, we're all human. apart from politicians. We're all human apart from fucking, what's his fucking name? What's his fucking name? Our Boris, fucking Boris Johnson. Could you imagine? Could you imagine your mum shouting you in for your dinner? Hey Boris, your dinner's ready, you little bastard. Anyway, folks, listen. You all stay safe. I'll do my best to stay safe. We'll be back with another live feed when we get the bits in for the dynatron. And I'll because I'm not going to move that off the bench because it's too much fucking about moving that. So I'm not going to move it. I'm going to leave it all in situ. My dynatron's on the back burner until I'm waiting for some caps coming and a few other bits. Waiting for some bits coming for that. Caps just really, I think. I've got a cartridge and stylus on the side here that will go in it. So I'm not too bothered about that. Anyway, you all take it easy. And, you know, I'll catch you on my next video. Thank you very much for sharing the evening with me. And you can do all that other good stuff now, like go to bed or watch YouTube or you know, go and nail the missus if you've got one. You know, yeah. You can do all that good stuff now, folks. You all take it easy. And thank you once again. And good night, folks.